Good evening. Welcome to Monday's guided meditation session at Vajrayana Institute. I'm Wai Cheong, and today I thought maybe we can explore the theme of how to uplift our mind and heart through meditation. Because today we have really nice weather, nice spring weather here in Sydney. So I'm in a good mood. So I thought maybe we can take a look at what are the ways we can, especially through meditation, and create the conditions for us, for the mind and heart, to feel lighter, brighter, maybe more open to joy and happiness, a little bit more cheerful. So let's have a look at this particular theme. First meditation will be to create favorable conditions for the mind and heart to respond in this way. So you may find that even though things might be, there's no major difficulties in life at the moment, but nonetheless, we don't often or don't always find ourselves in such a state of mind and heart where we are cheerful, where we seems to our attention seems to be drawn to beautiful things, positive things. So there might be some obstacles along the way. One of the favorable conditions that really help us to overcome such obstacles is to be able to somehow, on a much deeper level, not just intellectually, reassure our body, mind, and heart that everything is all right. And of course, that takes a while. But when the message somehow sinks into our system, and our body and mind and heart will be able to respond to it, and we find that we become more relaxed, more open, more receptive, and more willing to let in positive things, and also for ourselves to respond in a positive way. So how can we reassure ourselves, our own body, our own mind and heart in meditation, that everything is all right? And I find that through mindful contact and awareness of pleasant sensations that arise as a part of the meditation, has a transformative effect on ourselves. It's almost like the more we are able to connect with the pleasant feelings that come out of our meditative practice, the more we feel that, oh, things must be going all right. Otherwise I wouldn't feel anything pleasant or pleasurable. And the more we feel it, the more we are able to let go or release all the stress reactions or the tension, the tightness, the agitation. Bit by bit, we are able to let that go. And we find that it might be easier and easier for us to settle down, to feel at ease, to feel more and more comfortable in our posture, in our meditation. And before we know it, we become much more open and receptive to positive thoughts and positive feelings. So that is almost like the magic of contacting and connecting with pleasant feelings in our meditation. So what we're going to explore in this meditation is to look at the various conditions we can create or bring together to facilitate the arising of pleasant sensations, and to invite our attention or awareness to notice them, to let them into our awareness, into our consciousness, and also to take the time to enjoy them while they're here. I'm talking about pleasant feelings that are my usual low standard, very mild, very brief. They don't hang around for a long time. They are not peak experience. They're not high, but then they are also not low. They are just some low-grade, wonderful, nice feelings that occasionally make an appearance. And when they're here, why not enjoy them and allow them to work their magic on our own body and mind to reassure our system on a much deeper level that everything is all right. So first condition is posture, choice of posture. I invite you to really return your attention, check in, and select a suitable posture, especially if you are used to lying down on your back, which is wonderful, especially if you have back problem. But sometimes lying down, we tend to have a habit of collapsing, just collapse onto the floor, collapse onto the bed. Collapsing is not necessarily a good thing. We feel very heavy. It's almost like a sinking feeling. And everything is very dark and dull and foggy in the mind. Not necessarily a good state to be in, even though it's not stressful, but it's also very dark and dull and dim. Yeah. So in that occasion, such cases might be sitting up, maybe a good choice. Choice of posture, first thing. Second is I'm going to invite you in my usual way to return your attention to your own body. Just a light touch in your own way, and in whichever way that works best for you, to reconnect body and mind. And this helps to help the body to release some of the tensions. And as those tensions are released, naturally, pleasant sensations arise. And those are the simple pleasures that we can experience in meditation. And I'm going to invite you to let them into your awareness and enjoy them. Third condition is when pleasures do arise in this meditation, please don't waste them. Please don't just ignore them. Instead, make them part of your meditation experience. Invite them in, welcome them in, enjoy them while they're here. They don't last long. They will fade away, which is perfectly fine. But while they're here, while we notice it, no matter how faint or how subtle they are, please be welcoming. Invite them in. And lastly, towards the end of meditation, when you feel quite settled and quite at ease, I'm going to invite you to allow just a very faint smile to appear across your face. Sometimes you see that, not sometimes, most of the time you see it on the face of or the Buddha statue, like those behind me. This very tiny little faint smile. Sometimes people call it the cosmic smile of the Buddha. What is the Buddha finding so amusing or so lighthearted about this world that we live in? So as you allow that smile to come to your face, maybe along the way, interesting sensations may arise, maybe around the mouth area, maybe in the body. So that might also come across as pleasant sensations that we can connect with and we can welcome into our experience. Right? So let's do a meditation on uplifting our body and mind. So take a few moments and just settle your body in a suitable posture. So in whichever posture we have settled our body into, let's give our own body plenty of time to adjust, to get used to the posture. Take care that the back, the spine feels comfortable in this posture, that our posture is not introducing additional unnecessary pain or tension into the body. Feel free to sit on a chair or sit on the floor on a cushion in some cross-leg posture if you like. Or you can also lie down your back on some firm surface. In either case, see if you can take care that the entire length of the spine feels at ease, no tension, no tightness, and definitely no pain, if possible. Rest the hands and arms on some physical support so that you can allow your shoulders to be relaxed. Feel free to close your eyes completely if you find that helpful. Or you can also leave your eyes open or half open, whichever works for you. So as usual, I will guide you through the meditation. And feel free to ignore what I'm saying if it's not helpful or not relevant to your experience. Otherwise, just see what I'm saying as just a guide, a support for you. Sometimes a gentle reminder to invite your attention to come back into your meditation. Other times there's someone keeping you company as you enter deeper into your meditation. So let's start by getting in touch with the sensations coming through the points of contact between our body and our seat, our body and the ground. See if we can allow ourselves, our body to feel that it is resting on a solid, firm, and stable surface that imparts lots of support and balance in this posture, keeping the body safe and well supported. This helps the body to begin a process of loosening up. When the body realizes that it does not have to be so tight and tense, it can begin to unwind and let go of some of those unnecessary contractions and tightenings in the different parts of the body. Next, in just a very brief way, with a light touch, we invite our attention, our awareness to come back, to be in touch with the sensations at the different parts of our body, starting from the crown, resting our attention on the crown. See if we can notice sensations here. Could be tingling sensations, could be a feeling of warmth or coolness, a slight sense of pressure. And it can also be that we notice no sensations at all, which is perfectly fine. Notice sensations and see if we can imagine our attention is like water flowing from the crown downwards, getting in touch with sensations at other parts of the body. Flowing forward, we become aware of sensations at our own face. Let us check in to notice whether are we tensing up the muscles of our face. If we are, see if we can gently relax those facial muscles so that we can welcome in something more pleasant, a feeling of softening, of ease and comfort in our own face. Throughout this meditation, as I mentioned earlier, at any point of time we notice something mildly pleasant or interesting, see if we can welcome those sensations into awareness, allow ourselves to notice them, to attend to them, and to even enjoy them if they come across as nice or pleasant. Become aware also of sensations at the sides of the head, at the back of the head, maybe even inside the head. Pleasant sensations, interesting sensations, unusual sensations, maybe let them come into our awareness. Continue scanning downwards, become aware of sensations at the throat, at the neck. Also inquire into both shoulders. How are your shoulders feeling today? Notice sensations at the top of the shoulders, at the front, at the back, at the shoulder joints. Allow our attention to continue down both arms at the same time, sensing as we go so that we Become aware of sensations in both arms, sensations at the upper arms. Most of the time we will notice simple sensations, nothing spectacular, which is perfectly fine. We notice subtle sensations at both elbows. We allow attention to continue into the forearms, past the wrists, into the hands. Now that we are aware of both arms, see if we can give permission. Permit both arms to just rest their weight comfortably on their physical support. We don't have to tense up the arm muscles or shoulder muscles unnecessarily to hold them up. And let's invite our attention to come back to the chest. And throughout the meditation, we may find that we have to invite our attention to come back here and now, again and again. Come back to reconnect with the body. And this is something totally normal. We don't have to feel frustrated or upset. We simply invite our attention to come back and to be here and now. At the chest, we tune into sensations here, sensations of the movements of the chest as we breathe in and out. Some of us may even notice the beating of our own hearts and other sensations at the chest, at the front, as well as at the back, the upper back. Allowing attention to flow downwards, we become aware of sensations at the abdomen, sensation at the skin, at the muscles, at the various organs within. We allow attention to gather at the pelvis. Notice sensations here from the powerful muscles in this part of the body, as well as from the various organs and tissues. We sense the weight of the pelvis along with the upper body if we are sitting. We see if we can give permission, allow that weight of the pelvis and the upper body to rest comfortably on their physical support, on their seats. And then we allow attention to continue down both legs at the same time, becoming aware of sensations in both legs, starting from the hips, moving at our own pace towards the knees. From the knees, proceed downwards towards the ankles. Eventually, we allow attention to arrive at both feet so that we are aware of sensations at the soles of the feet, at the top of the feet, sensations in the toes. Now that we are aware of sensations in both legs, see if we can give permission and just rest both legs comfortably on the floor, on their physical support. We surrender their weight to gravity. So now that we have traveled through our entire body, reconnecting attention with the different parts of the body, we allow our body to rest in this posture, to continue to settle down, to loosen up, to unwind, to release unnecessary physical tensions and tightness. And we rest our attention on the sensations of the body, and in particular, if we are able to notice any pleasant sensations or interesting sensations, see if we can let them into awareness and allow ourselves to attend to them. Attend to pleasant sensations, interesting sensations happening here and now without striving or straining ourselves. Just with a light touch, connect with those pleasures while they're here. Allow them to work their magic on us. Returning our attention here and now to the body, to bodily experiences, to pleasant sensations if there are any. If you like, you can even consider allowing a smile, just a faint smile, to appear across your face when you feel that body and mind are relatively settled and at ease in this meditation. And then observe and see for yourself what kind of sensations may be triggered by a gentle smile on our own face. If you find anything interesting, any pleasant sensations, however faint they may be arising, see if you can welcome them into awareness. Allow your attention to rest on those pleasant feelings while they're here, without trying to increase them, without trying to spread them. Simply be with them and enjoy them while they're here and see what happens. So coming back to this moment, and then we invite our awareness, if we get distracted elsewhere, or if we get preoccupied with thinking, to just come back here and now, reconnect with the body. And in particular, if we can become aware and highlight any pleasant sensations, however faint they may be, make them the object of meditation. What sort of effect awareness of pleasant sensations within meditation may have on our own body, on our own mind and heart? Is it possible through connecting with such pleasant feelings to send a message to our own body, our own mind and heart that everything is all right? Okay, so there is the first meditation on awareness of pleasant feelings that arise from our meditation. I like to think that if we lower our standards sufficiently low, we almost most of the time able to find something nice, something pleasant happening within our meditation. That doesn't mean that we deny or we suppress anything unpleasant or whatever. But if we are able to bring together the favorable conditions, suitable posture, and take time to help the body to settle into the posture, help to reconnect body and mind, to promote the, the unraveling, the release of tension, the putting aside of all the stress, reactivities, at least on the physical level first, and then maybe slowly even the mental level. And also to take the time to enjoy, to appreciate the pleasant sensations, even very mild, very simple, ordinary looking pleasures. You will find that they have this surprisingly incredible ability to reassure ourselves, our system, that, oh, maybe I don't need to be so tight, don't have to be so tense, don't have to be so agitated. Maybe I can slow down a bit, I can settle back a bit, I can ease up a bit. And the more we do that, the more we notice there are other pleasant things happening within ourselves, and we can enjoy them as well. So it's a kind of a positive feedback, so to speak. Okay, so I personally find that once we get the hang of it, sometimes some sensations are not necessarily pleasant, but they are interesting. or a bit weird. Like for example, with the smile, sometimes I don't necessarily call it pleasant feelings, but there's all this buzzing and strange sensations, which only happen when we are relatively settled and relaxed. And they are sufficiently interesting to engage our attention and to draw the energy of our attention deeper into meditation. So that is one way of uplifting our mind or meditation. Second practice for this evening, I thought we'll do a simple practice called rejoicing. Simple but not necessarily easy. Rejoicing is related to another practice that I usually guide, which is called appreciative joy, where I invite you to appreciate all the wonderful things in our life or in other people's life, to feel happy and joyful about. And that one is pretty broad, any happy moments, nice moments, simple moments, relaxing moments, any kind of experience that we find is suitably good, we can feel happy about it. We can appreciate. There's appreciative joy. Within Buddhist tradition, we also have a practice called rejoicing. Rejoicing, used in this more technical way, refer to rejoice in not so much the happy moments, but the causes of happiness. Those occasions where we ourselves or others engage in wholesome actions, virtuous action, when we do good deeds, deeds of kindness, of compassion. This comes from action of wisdom, generosity. We uphold a higher ethical principle, and we act from that. So these are the goodness in our life, in our world, maybe within ourselves or within others. And when we see those actions, when we are aware of it, when we recollect it, is it possible for us to rejoice in it, to feel happy and say, oh, how wonderful this is. For one thing, it reaffirms that there is goodness in this world, in our life. It also reaffirms that there are those of us who try to do the right thing, try to do the helpful things, helping others, extending love, kindness, and compassion, not only for ourselves or those close to us, but sometimes even beyond that, towards fellow human beings, towards animals, other sentient beings, and so forth. Traditionally, this practice can be done. One way to do it is by repeating a few verses or lines that express the idea, the spirit of rejoicing, and then reflect on it. I thought just to read briefly an example of it, if I can find it. Otherwise, I don't think I can find it anyway. Otherwise, what I'll do is I'll just repeat a very simple line as my usual style of doing such meditation. I would say, I rejoice in all the virtuous actions of myself and others. Or my teacher will have a much shorter version. How wonderful this is! Yeah, he sees the world very differently from, at least from myself. I see the world mostly half empty, like the glass, and he probably sees half full. I used to think that the world is not such a wonderful place, and therefore there are very rare occasions to use this expression, or how wonderful this is, as an expression of rejoicing, feeling joy. But these days, I think something has shifted inside me. I'm quite okay with it. And what we do is we say this phrase, or whatever phrase you like. I rejoice in the virtuous actions of myself and others. Or you can change it. I rejoice in the good deeds. I rejoice in the wholesome actions. I rejoice in the goodness in myself and others. But primarily in terms of the actions. Actions could be our behavior, could be our speech, could also manifest in thoughts, especially for oneself. And as we say the phrase, we invite instances from the past or current, things that we are aware of. We invite all those instances to come to mind. This could be the good deeds of oneself, can also be the good deeds of others that we are aware of. Others could be people close to us, or others could be someone we saw on the news or through the internet or whatever. And as we bring those instances to mind, and if we look at them, we assess them and think that, yeah, this is something really wonderful. This is such a positive deed. This is such a kind act. Is it possible for us to find within our own hearts, that sense of rejoicing and feeling happy, feeling joyful that there is such a goodness in the world, in life, and to be able to say, oh, I rejoice in it. How wonderful this is. So it becomes an exercise in unearthing what we know, what we are aware of in the past, in the present, and also an opening of the heart to be more receptive, to allow into awareness. Now, we are usually more aware of negative things. We dwell on negative, bad things much more than we dwell on the positive things. So this is to shift that tendency and to now deliberately, conscientiously welcome into our awareness the positive things in life in terms of kind acts, generous acts, good deeds that come from love and compassion, from care and concern, actions born out of wisdom and clear seeing into reality. If there's any that you are aware of, let them come to mind. This could be something that we ourselves are engaged in, those that we know, and also people that we don't know so well. And as those things come to mind, I invite you to let them come fully into awareness. And even when at the moment we may not feel anything in particular, but nonetheless, as we become aware of these different examples, see if we can, even just in terms of words, even if we cannot find the feeling immediately, which is perfectly normal, say a simple phrase: I rejoice. I rejoice in all the virtuous actions of myself and others. Or if you are much more upbeat than me, you can follow my teacher's example. How wonderful this is. And as we rejoice, one at a time, one deed at a time, slowly at our own pace. There's no hurry. There's no need to feel that we need to gather a huge number, but sincerely with each instance, remind ourselves that there is goodness in life, there's goodness in the world, and it is worthy of nurturing not only the good deeds themselves, but the awareness of it, and also to nurture the sense of joy and happiness that can appreciate such virtuous actions. Right? So enough of me talking. Let's give it a try. And since I'm a pessimist, and I always worried that some of us, including myself, may do this meditation and not a single example come to mind. The world is so dark and so negative and so full of suffering. There's absolutely nothing worth rejoicing. So in the event that we hit upon a brick wall like this, see if we can, even when nothing comes to mind, see if we can rejoice in the potential of goodness within each one of us, that we can find, first of all, in ourselves. We do have kindness, we do have compassion. We may not have a huge amount of it, but we do have some of it. We do love and care for others in our life, just as we receive the loving care of others. So we can find simple examples, if not in actual deeds, but nonetheless in potential, both within ourselves and in others. And just that in itself is also worthy of rejoicing. So let's give it a try. I invite you to settle yourself back into a suitable meditation posture, and take care that the posture is comfortable, does not introduce unnecessary pain and discomfort into your body. Just as before, we take a few moments to allow the body to adjust itself, to get used to the posture, to once again settle back into meditation. This time we can make use of our breath as a support. You may like to begin with a few deep breaths, breathing in and out deeply. And on the out breath, see if you can remember to release. Allowing our breath to settle back to its natural rhythm, we rest our attention on the breath sensations for a while. Just allow ourselves to notice and experience the natural in-breath and out-breath. And each time when we notice an out-breath, see if we can remind ourselves with the simple word release as we breathe out. Breathing out is a movement of release. So just as we release the stale air in our lungs, we let go of the carbon dioxide, maybe other things that are unneeded, unwanted, unnecessary, maybe they can also flow away with the breath. Breathing out, maybe we can help the body to release some of the unnecessary contractions and tightenings. And we can also remind our mind to let go of thoughts or memories or fantasies that are not related to the practice. Breathing out, see if we can relax the muscles of our face, allow any tension, tightenings in the face to flow away with the breath, so that we can welcome in at least a feeling of softness, a sense of ease and relaxation into our own face. Feel free to come back to the breath throughout the meditation at any point of time. If you find that you're very distracted, you get a bit confused or lost in the meditation, the breath is always going to be here to support us. Let's turn our attention now to the practice of rejoicing by choosing a simple phrase and repeating it slowly, mindfully. See if we can invite into our awareness instances of virtuous deeds, wholesome actions of both ourselves and others that are worthy of rejoicing, because these good deeds are the source of happiness for ourselves and others, and simply because they are born out of the wonderful virtuous qualities of the human heart: loving kindness, compassion, generosity, wisdom, ethics. I rejoice in all the virtuous actions of myself and others. How wonderful this is. So as we say our phrase, drop it into our heart and mind and wait and see if they stir up memories, images, instances. Quite often they may stir up things unrelated, then we can let that go. Occasionally, a specific memory, a specific image arises that is appropriate. See if you can dwell on it, attend to it, and see if you can find within your own heart, if not the feeling, at least the intention to rejoice, to feel happy, to take joy in it. I rejoice in all the virtuous actions of myself and others. How wonderful this is. Coming back to the phrase of rejoicing, not to worry if nothing comes to mind. Just simply at a slow pace, repeat the words, the phrases, change the wordings if you like. and makes repeated attempt to invoke from our own heart and mind that feeling of rejoicing as we try to recall the many instances in our own life or in the world of people engaging in wholesome, virtuous deeds of a good heart. I rejoice in all the virtuous actions of myself and others. How wonderful this is. Coming back to the meditation, invoke the line or phrase of rejoicing. I rejoice in all the virtuous actions of myself and others. How wonderful this is. At any moment, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of us are in one way or another engaging in something virtuous, wholesome, something that come out of kindness, of heart, of wisdom, of compassion. See if we can, in our own way, touch just a tiny little bit of it and rejoice in the goodness in our life, in the world. Coming back to the meditation of rejoicing, repeating slowly and mindfully your own phrase of rejoicing. And as we let into awareness the various memories, images, instances, see if we can allow our heart to open, allow our mind to take joy in all these instances of positive deeds, virtuous actions, born out of good intentions, of kindness, compassion, and wisdom. I rejoice in all the virtuous actions of myself and others. How wonderful this is. And then towards the end of the meditation, I invite you to give special attention to rejoice in our own good deeds, our own share of virtuous actions born out of our own good intentions, loving kindness, compassion, our own wisdom. See if you can recall those actions that we ourselves have created, that we have acted upon, that are born out of such positive intention and that create goodness in the world. And as we recollect it, see if we can also rejoice in our own virtuous actions. How wonderful this is. And then finally, we gather up all these positive feelings, this positive momentum we have created through such a simple reflection, simple meditation on rejoicing. Think of this positive momentum as a source of goodness in itself. And let us give it a direction. Let us dedicate it towards the fulfillment of our wishes and aspirations for ourselves and for others. And we can dedicate that may anything that is good and positive that come out of this evening's practice, may they somehow stay with us, may they linger in body, mind, and heart, so that they can continue to benefit us. Okay, so we can rejoice in our own rejoicing. So that's it for this evening. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you to have a good week ahead, and hope to see you next Monday. Good night.